This is the treat box we're going to make today. This is made all from die cutting. It's using Fawn products. And this is what the front looks like, the side, the back, and the other side. And so it just sits up straight, and so this is what we're going to do. Okay, the die cuts we're using for this is the Fawn scalloped treat box, and you need to cut 2 of these out. And then we're also going to be using the Fawn scalloped treat box add-on, which is the winter house add-on. You need to cut 2 of the little roof lines here, 2 of the big trees, 2 of the little trees, 5 of these little inside windows, 1 of this door with this little window cut in here, 1 bow, 1 wreath, and 1 star. And then out of some kind of yellow glitter paper, you want to cut the outline of both the door and the windows. And the star you'll also be cutting out of the glitter paper. And what I did for the door, since I just need to cover this little part right here, which are the little windows that are in the door, I just actually used this die cut and just cut the top half of that die cut to get enough to cover the back of this so that it looks like there's a golden glow coming from it. Now I also, in order to make the ornaments, I used the middle size punch from the Doris hole punch set, and this results in a hole punch that's the middle size hole punch here. And I use that for the ornaments on the trees. And for the glitter paper, what I'm using is I found some of this glitter paper that's from the Dollar Tree. It's not very thick, but it comes in different colors, and it's very thin, and it's actually a sticker paper. And so for the ornaments of the tree, I just take out one of the colors that I want to choose, and I will just punch out one of the colors, and then I'll have I'll use this for an ornament for the tree. Okay, and to save some time, I did all of my die cutting off screen, but you'll notice that for the treat box itself, there are some score lines here. And so what you want to do is just carefully fold along each of the score lines. And then I like to use my bone folder to make sure it's a nice sharp crease. There will be some little flaps here that you also want to carefully fold over. And then score flaps on either side. And also at the top here. And here at the bottom. And this one right here, you're going to fold back. Or no, you're going to fold forward. And then the one at the very top, you're going to want to fold this way. And so this one is a little bit different than the others. And so just kind of gently get it started with your fingernails. And then you can fold the whole thing back. So that in essence you will have half of your treat box made this way. and then you fold this one the same way. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put some score tape on the flaps here, and then on one of the pieces I use a thicker score tape, and you're going to put some score tape right on the very bottom. And to make sure it's got a good seal, I like to run my bone folder over it. Okay, now we'll get our windows prepared. And so these are the little pieces of the glitter paper that I had cut out for my windows. So I have 5 of those to go along with 5 windows. And so I'm just going to take, I like to put my glue in a fine tip dispenser. And so on the back of the window, we're just going to put just a little bit of glue. Just dotting it like that. Then I'm going to take one of my pieces of glitter paper, and I'm going to carefully put it on top and make sure that none of it is showing from the other side. I can kind of zoom in here so that you can see how that looks, and then we'll zoom back out a little. And then I like to put some acrylic blocks just on top of this to weigh it down, to give that glue a good chance. I'll press it down a little bit with my fingers just to make sure that it gets a good connection. And you want to make sure you put the glue on the back of your die cut also, not the front. Okay, now we have our 5 windows prepared. Now we're going to do our door. And so, again, on the back, we'll just put a little bit of glue around. And the little piece that we cut for this dormer window, just put that on. Turn around, make sure it looks good. Press it down, give it some pressure. Oops. And it kind of stuck to the block. So let's put this down again, just on top of here. And press it again. Okay, at least the sticker stayed on that time. Just the release paper came off, and so I'll put the release paper back on here. And the door is done. So now what we'll start doing is we'll start assembling our pieces before we put it together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the door. So I'm going to release the paper from the glitter sticky paper and just put some glue on the back of the door here. I'm also going to put glue on the back of the sticker paper just to make sure. And then I'm going to put it right at the bottom of the line here. And once again, I'm going to push it down with a couple of acrylic blocks just to make sure that it holds well. Okay, next we'll do one of the windows. So I'll start by releasing the paper from the back of the sticky paper. And then I'll put some glue. Okay, then we'll take another window and release the paper. If you're using regular glitter cardstock that is not sticky, then you would just put glue and glue everything together. And the window at the side will just go on just like that. Okay, now we want to put the roof on. There's one score line along here along the scallops, and you want to bend that downwards. And so you want to just carefully bend it down. Like that. And then use your bone folder to crease it down really well. And now we're going to put glue on the top side. So you'll notice there are some little scallops here. So just put the glue in between those scallops like this. And then you're going to line that up on the top of this so that your score line here is matching where it folds over like that. And so it should all line up. And you may have to adjust it a bit to make sure everything is lining up properly. And I'm going to take a bigger block that will cover this whole thing and just kind of press down on it. Okay. Now I'm going to take one of the small trees that was die cut, and I will put some glue on it. And I'm going to put this right next to the door. Again, along that bottom seam so that it doesn't overlap the edge here. And then I'll push it down with some acrylic blocks. I'll take one of the large trees, put some glue on it, and put that on this side. Again, butt up against the bottom so that it's not overlapping on the side. So it's going to be a little bit in front of the window. Just like that. Then I'm going to take the little star that I cut out of the gold glitter sticker paper. I'm going to take the release paper off, and I'm going to place that just on top of the tree. And once again, press it down with an acrylic block to get it good and down. Okay, next I am going to take the little wreath that I made and also the teeny tiny little bow that was die cut. So this is the wreath and the tiny bow, and I like to do it so that the wreath on the top it's not like this, but like this. Let me zoom in so you can see. I mean, you can do it whichever way you want, but I like the top to be between two of the hoops, and that's not focusing very well. And plus I got enough glue on my fingers. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Yeah, that'll focus better. And so I like the top to be between two of the hoops. You can do it whatever way you want, but take the little bow and just add some glue to the very top of the bow. Just, oops, that's a little bit too much. So I'll just kind of spread it over to the other side. And then you're going to place the bow right at the bottom of the wreath so that it looks like that. And once again, push down to get it good and sealed. Now you're going to put glue over the entire back, including those two little parts of the bow. And we're going to put it on the door. Just kind of like this. And once again, we'll push it down with acrylic block. Okay, and I like to put little berries on there, so I'm using a Marvy Le Plume 2, the number 89 Persimmon, but you could probably use any kind of a red marker. And I'm just putting just little groups of 3 to represent the berries on the wreath, like that. Just kind of evenly spaced. So it just adds a little color to the wreath. Okay, now I'm going to take some of my clear Wink of Stella. I am going to just put some Wink of Stella over those berries so that it will give it a little bit of shine. Like that. And then I'm also going to put some Wink of Stella on the little red bow. Like that. Okay, next I'm going to take the little glitter pieces that I cut out with my hole punch, and we're going to add the ornaments to the tree over here. Okay, now for the side here, I'm going to use another one of the big trees for the side portion here. And we've got this half of the little treat box done. Now we'll do the other half. We'll start by putting the 2 windows that are going to be on the back. And we'll take our last window. We'll take our other little tree and for our roof, once again, okay, so now we're ready to start putting our 2 halves together. So release all of the backing from the score tape. Okay, and then kind of take the front of the house and kind of fold it up, and you're going to make the seal here. And then you're going to take the back of the house and you are going to butt it right into this corner and kind of press down. And then you're going to make the seal on the side and then kind of push in on both sides here and make the seals on this side. And you have to be careful because the score tape kind of bonds almost instantly. So you want to be careful that you're getting good contact. And then what I like to do is I like to take two of my acrylic blocks and I'll place one on the inside and one on the outside and just kind of give it a good press. And then that pretty much completes your box. So what you do is you use these little slits in the side and carefully seal it up like this. Oops, came out on this side. Of course it's not working because I'm on camera. Okay, and then there you have it. Here's the front, side, the back, and the other side. And if you wanted, you could cut more trees and stuff and put it on the back. The two windows are maybe a little off kilter, so this one should have been a little lower, but I think whoever receives this gift box will enjoy it. And so we'll zoom in a little bit so you can get a little bit better look at it. And this is the gift box. Okay, Fawn also makes some stamps that have to and from, or they have just a from here. This one happens to be the slow down and enjoy. These also come with separate dies that make their own little tags, which probably would not, this would be good if you're just attaching it to presents and things like that. But you can still use the to and the from, or the from just alone on other tags to put on the little treat house. There's also a Lawn Fawn For You Dear set, which has another to and from. This time the from has a little heart instead of the word from. And once again, they have little dies here to make tags if you wanted to. But the tags we're going to try are from the Lawn Fawn Say What gift tags. And so we'll use the stamps from these and use these dies to cut out, and then we can attach these tags to the gift boxes with some string or some ribbon. Now I personally have some other dies that cut out different shaped tags that I could use for this also, and just manually write to or from if the stamps don't match. But these are other ideas of how you could actually tag the houses, and you would just string the string of the tag through this little hole here, and then you could tie a pretty little bow and have your tag hanging off, and you'd have a nice little gift. Well, looking at this Lawn Fawn die, these are the ones that are from the Say What gift tags. I think these would probably be a little bit too big and overwhelming for this particular one. So I think the one I'm going to use is this little gift tag right here. which is, I don't know who makes it. I just got it cheap somewhere, and I think this will be probably a perfect size tag. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have my little sidekick here. This is a handy little die cutting machine. And I have my 2 cutting plates. So I'm going to put my paper down on here. I'll put this little die down, maybe this way, save some paper. And so it doesn't slip and slide on me, I'm going to just put some washi tape on there to hold it in place. And then I'm going to send it through my sidekick. This is a handy little die cutting machine to have at your tabletop. And that cuts a cute little tag. And then I'll just move this out of the way. I have the stamp here. This is from the Fawn Slow Down and Enjoy stamp set. That's the to and the from. And I'll just use some Gina K Designs amalgam ink here. And I will ink up this stamp. And then I will stamp it with the from right at the bottom. So this will give me room to write in the people's names. And there we have our tag. I don't know how well you can see it. And that will hang off nicely from, just add some twine or some ribbon and hook it to this, and that would make a pretty nice gift. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!